Hello, my name is Meave, and welcome to the Meave Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about LinkedIn AI strategies for your business branding, utilizing AI to get high paying clients. So, yeah, today's episode, we're going to be talking more about the branding side of things. As always, we're going to dabble in a little bit of AI so we can help you guys. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are realizing that LinkedIn is starting to become more mainstream, just a tad bit. It's trying to become more mainstream. They're trying to make that transition, make that switch. And then, a lot of people are also getting bored with their current social media platforms. So today we're going to just be talking about how you can grow on LinkedIn, you know what I'm saying? And what you should do, especially if you're a B2B business owner. So, yeah, LinkedIn is good for networking. It's good for any type of B2B lead generation. Has the best clients, the best client network, as everybody says. Um, but yeah, I mean, the question is, how do you make your brand stand out, and how do you attract a steady stream of high quality clients? And you just got to be like really strategic. You got to lay down a foundation. And like I said, I'm gonna say this in a lot. So I'm always gonna talk about the hybrid approach. This is probably my first time addressing this phenomenon, but basically, when you're creating your whole marketing plan, you need to always have a hybrid approach. What's the hybrid approach? Well, basically, you got to ask yourself, if you're asking yourself, what's the hybrid approach? You need to ask yourself, what's direct sales marketing and what's brand marketing? So, direct sales marketing, cold email outreach, cold calling, social media posts with calls to action. Brand marketing, what's brand marketing? Free consultations, giving value on the internet, participating in discussions, free videos, free articles. So, shout out to Chris Doe. Shout out to Chris Doe because he's the one that I guess coined that term. But yeah, a lot of people don't necessarily have a stable foundation for their business because they either do too much direct sales marketing or they do too much branding and content creation. So the best approach is the hybrid approach. Um, yeah, I mean, branding is the most important thing because it helps you charge premium prices, you get paid recurring revenue, and then you also build a lifelong business. You know, direct marketing is literally just to pay your bills. Like that's just the today money. That's your little today money, so you can literally pay your bills. But brand marketing is the longevity. It's what keeps your business alive for a long time. Direct sales marketing is short term sales, shorter lifetime value, lower price. Branding, long term sales, longer lifetime value, premium prices. So yeah, really pay attention to that as a foundation for what we're going to talk about today. Um, and also know that this strategy is what helps Walmart, Target, even media creators on YouTube become really successful with their agency models by utilizing the hybrid approach. It's helped me a lot. It's helped me as a business owner. But yeah, I mean, it allows consumers to build a relationship with you over time that'll be far more deeper than the ones that they have with your competitors. So I mean, you got to think about it too. Here's an example, just to further not even about hybrid approaching, just in general. You got to know the customer journey whenever you're trying to post on LinkedIn in general. So I want to coin this example using Target, probably one of my favorite stores, probably one of my favorite stores and my mother's favorite stores to go to as a kid. I used to go to Target all the time and go sit in that section. I used to go straight to the music section when I was a kid, man. I always had a deep love for music. I thought it was normal. I thought everybody loved music, but as I got older, I realized I'm like, wow, I really like music more than everybody else alive. Maybe I don't know, but I always listen to music when I'm working out, waking up in the morning. I remember times when I used to work warehouse shifts when I was 18 at Amazon. I would be, I always had to bring my headphones or it was a bad day. So I think I got, I think I got a bit sidetracked, but I got a bit sidetracked talking about music. But anyways, yeah, my favorite store to grocery shop was Target, growing up. So we'll use that as an example for the customer journey and how you need to understand the customer journey to know what to post on LinkedIn and to really succeed. So my journey, basically, this is all examples. I want you to take all these examples so you can understand what the consumer sees, because y'all, a lot of y'all don't understand what the consumer is seeing on their TL whenever they try to. You don't understand their thought process whenever you're trying to sell to them. So you need to understand how they think, so you can sell them their dreams. So you can sell. You can use fear to 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 make them purchase something. You should make them. If you're a fitness trainer, you should make them be fucking s- shit scared. What's gonna happen in the next 10 years if they don't take their fitness seriously? Like, don't, you're not a bad person for that. You're actually trying to help them. You're trying to make sure that they can actually help themselves and be motivated to get up off the couch and stop buying potato chips and actually get inside the gym. Like, that's something you should know as a fitness trainer. You should know their psychology, man. So I'm gonna just use this example so you can really understand. But yeah, the analogy is, maybe I'm sitting, maybe I just moved to Austin, right? So I see a Target is located near me, and let's say my girlfriend at the time is just like, she wants to go there to go get something. So I go with her for the first time, right? I happen to just see Target for the first time. Like, let's say I'm from another state, I've never seen a Target. I'm like, oh, this is my first time in Target. Like, I heard about Publix. Publix is like in other states, but it's not in Texas. So, but when people bring it up, I know what Publix is, but I've never been inside of a Publix. So let's say it's my first time in Target. Woohoo, right? So we can compare that exact same scenario to, let's say somebody's on their TL and they see a post from you, a fitness trainer or consultant or whatever you do, right? And let's say they see exactly what you do. So let's say your bio is like, oh, we help businesses improve customer service. Whoop the whoop. So let's say somebody randomly just sees that post on their TL because their friend reposted it or whatever, or just it just happened to come across, and it's like, oh, this business owner, he helps business owners with their customer service. So yeah, you should compare those two experiences to each other. My girlfriend taking me to Target to go get whatever she needs to get. Then I'm seeing Target has all this stuff. It's my first time here, so I'm like, oh, they have all these resources. You should compare that to somebody just coming across your post because somebody else reposted a post, right? So that's the first part. Now, let's say I'm in a new city, so I'm like, oh, I like Target. They sell bread, they sell eggs, they sell everything I need. Cool. So now I start scheduling Target runs every single Saturday morning to go purchase my weekly groceries. So it's starting to get serious now. It's starting to get really serious. So yeah. So let's say we compare that to somebody on the TL, right? Somebody's on the TL, somebody's on LinkedIn, somebody's whatever, somebody's there, and they opt into your weekly newsletter, right? They see you keep posting. They're like, okay, cool, cool. So then they will opt into your weekly newsletter. And they schedule their morning reads like every Saturday. They want to open up your newsletter because you're gonna give them some type of insight on how they can improve their company's customer service. So now you so now you a part of their routine, right? So that's the second step. The third step. Now let's say I start doing little mini impulses purchases, whenever I'm near the store or just inside the store. That's the next part, like I start going to Target, I'm by Target, maybe I'm thirsty, maybe I want a quick snack. I'm driving past Target. I go pick up something real quick. Ooh, I go pick up. Cool. I needed that. I needed that drink. I needed that snack. So let's compare that to that. That would be the equivalent of consumer investing in your little offerings, little by little. So say they keep opening your newsletter, right? And then you warming up to them. Like, okay, this person providing value about how I can improve my customer service. Let's say you come out with a little cheap ebook. Little ebook on your site, $5, $10. Cool. They start buying a little ebook. Okay, cool. We got the ebook. Cool. Now the next step, okay. Maybe I'm in Target. I join a rewards program for Target. You know what I'm saying? I hope Target has a rewards plan. But yeah, I buy a little rewards plan to get some more benefits from Target, just so I can get some more deals, get some more discounts, etc. Because I go there so much, I go there every week, right? So um, let me go ahead and get some from the rewards program. So this is equivalent to the consumer investing in your offering little by little, and it might start with what I'm saying, them making little small purchases, but it might also transition to what I'm about to say now. Let's say I go to Target and then I buy a really expensive camera, right? buy a super expensive camera. It gets to that point where I'm like, okay, I trust Target. This is my home. This is where I grocery shop all the time. I'm gonna buy this like $5,000 camera. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy this $5,000 camera at Target. I'm not gonna go anywhere else. I'm gonna go to Target. I got the rewards program already. I already whoop whoop. This is equivalent to the consumer spending their big bucks with you as a consultant. That this is why people that are graphic design there's people that as graphic designers out here that are charging whether they're an agency or not. I mean, pretty sure they're an agency, but most of the time they're agencies. But I can also say like there's consultants, there's people that are not agencies that can charge high ticket for real high ticket. People that can really charge, like 20K, 30K for a logo design. There's people out there really charging that. If you have like a craft where it's not even have to do anything with tech, there's people there's barbers out here charging 1,000 for a haircut. Like, and there's different components to that, right? Because it's like we're gonna give you so much value. We've shown you so much value already through just our content, through just how we talk online, through our audience, through the people that we have access to. We've shown you our value. We've proved that already. Now you need to pay us our value, what we're worth from this. We're not just that's the difference between the fitness trainer that's charging, his amount to a certain person. And he doesn't post no content. He's just doing him. He's just going to the gym. He's doing, you know, he's doing the basic workouts with his clients. That's what separates that person from the person that's just like really in the gym and recording everything, making high def videos. Maybe they're making cool videos of the client. They got a big audience on Instagram. They're talking about macros and micros. As soon as they get done working out and they post it on their story. You know what I'm saying? And they got a YouTube channel tailored towards stuff deeper than fitness, maybe like mental health, how to take care of their things outside of physical health. That's when people just look at you and they're like, man, this dude's he's not just a regular like like he's not just a and this is I'm just using the training as an example, but he's not just a regular. You can tailor it to like being a consultant or whatever service you sell, but yeah, he's not just a regular whoop the whoop. Like he's actually like the real deal. He's actually like I like this guy. So you turn the consumer from an impulse one-time purchase type of customer to a high-ticket lifelong customer. Now let's move on to the next point. Crafting your LinkedIn persona. Before diving into AI, you need to establish a LinkedIn presence that reflects your brand's unique value proposition. Here's how you got to optimize your profile, have the best profile, have a good headline, you know what I'm saying, to summarize your expertise, talk about the target audience and your headline. You need to talk about who you're addressing. Like who do you do it for basically? Yeah, so if you're a person you only work like say, okay, go back to the fitness trainer example. If you're a fitness trainer and you work with entrepreneurs, you could be like, okay, fitness trainer that works for Whoop the Whoop entrepreneurs in the B2B space, B2C space, D2C space, whatever space that they're in, or have somebody look at it and be like, okay, this person might suit me. Okay, like people see a lot of these profiles, right? And I don't think you realize like people don't pay attention to them. But when you have a headline inside your bio that speaks to what somebody's actual what's somebody's actual day-to-day identity is, they're going to pay attention to you. They're going to be like, who's this guy? Why did he just follow me? Like even if they're like pestered or if they're like, all right, cool, like this dude does this, he's probably going to try to sell me something. Even if they're like that at first, what they're really going to think too is also like, okay, well, I might need this dude at some point. Maybe I don't need him now, but he's for me, he's for the people, he's for what I do, he's for and the more specific the better, honestly. Like the more specific you are, the better, so especially if you're at a point where because you could be following these people or engaging with these people and they could just come off from a pain point of experiencing their day-to-day identity and going through some type of struggle, and then you come there and it's like, oh, this person just followed me. That's a coincidence. I was just complaining to Margaret about how we need to do better with just content creation, and this person that just helps business owners with content creation just followed me, like, or through I just seen a post. Like, that's a coincidence, isn't it? You have those type of things. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen all the time, but that's what happens when you interact on social media and you're active. You know, but yeah, you want to include relevant keywords to ensure your searchability. You want to showcase your experience. You want to detail your professional journey, highlight your achievements, talk about your results that you made. Um, then you want to also do visual storytelling. So you want to use high quality visuals that align with your brand identity and blah 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, you want to be vulnerable. You want to be weak. You want to that's you want to get on the internet and talk about your vulnerabilities and weakness and get to a point where people can really connect with you because honestly that's what people connect with most on the internet. People like seeing certain things, but people connect most with when it comes to vulnerabilities and weaknesses. And I go more in depth about this. I don't want to talk too much about it because I talk about it inside my ebook. But you wanna know this to a T and build a customer persona around it. And I hate using that term, but like I mean it's kind of true. Like you wanna see basically what's your weakness. How can I turn it into a strength? How can I create stories from this? And you're gonna have a bunch of stories. So it's basically that component. You want to get to a point where, okay, I have a lot of flack from this weakness. I mean, if it's a weakness, it's had to cause some pain in your life, of course, right? So any weakness, anything that you hate about yourself. I mean, you could have grew up and been deaf, and now you're trying to teach people, certain things on the internet to make money online. And that being deaf has really hindered you in your life, but everything has happened for a reason, and you start realizing, like, and that's the beautiful thing about life in general. We go through certain things, right? And you can either take the things that you go through and put it as a positive, or you can put it as a negative. And you can see what happens to the people that take and frame the things that happen to them as a negative. They end up not really excelling past that point. But you can also see what happens to the people that turn their negative into a positive. And that's all content creation is. It's like about turning that negative into a positive, but also being vulnerable online about it. And then you get to a point where you're telling stories about it. And then you get to a point where you trying to sell a service so you can help other people overcome that same thing. That's all it is. That's the whole framework. And it's a beautiful thing. It's something everybody needs to do. It's not I don't say it's something everybody needs to do because everybody might not be comfortable with it, but it's a point where it's so powerful because that's when it's almost like money. The older you get, the more you realize money revolves and makes the world go round, right? So everybody goes through struggle. Everybody goes through their weaknesses. Everybody has their pain points, even if in somebody else's eyes that person might be perfect. Everybody has their own insecurities, weaknesses, all that, right? So it's like we enter this earth with with growing into that. We enter this earth just growing into hating something about ourselves that maybe as a baby we really didn't care about, or maybe as an infant we didn't even really like notice, of course. But then we grow up and we navigate society and we learn to like hate this thing about ourselves, or we see how a certain aspect might make us not be able to get certain things out of life. So we hate that about us, like maybe a drug addiction is keeping us away from, being a good father or whatever. And we just start hating ourselves, right? And we start fighting this battle, and then it's like I think the most beautiful thing is just like fighting that battle, bro, and then just getting to the point where it's like you overcome it. You either overcome it or you get to a point, not even trying to take it to that drug addiction example, because you definitely need to recover and become a better person from that. But you either overcome it or you embrace it if it's something that you can't change, right? So you either overcome it or you embrace it, and then you get to a point where you just like, all right, You get on the net and you start attracting money from being vulnerable from that point of that weakness that you had for so many years. I feel like that's the beautiful thing because that's the business model that AI cannot take, bro. That's just like the you know what I'm saying? Like it's such a powerful thing. And you'll have so many stories from this, just alone, just from this weakness or this vulnerability that you had. So basically, you want this persona, it's not even a persona, but you want this to be the backbone behind all the stories and the content that you post. And you want to relate it to your business or your service offering, of course. So yeah, this gives your audience a person that they can connect with and separate you from competitors. You become a friend that they relate to instead of just someone selling them a service. But yeah, I have more of this on my ebook. But yeah, some examples would be, Alex, the loud introvert who helps customers scale their businesses. John, the overthinking analyzer who helps businesses use AI to streamline their data analytics. Jake, the arrogant sales coach who helps businesses train their sales teams to full potential. Amy, the binge watching content creator who helps businesses create more engaging content. The list goes on. Don't steal any of those. Please be original. But this is my point. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take Amy. Maybe Amy had like this thing where she like, man, I be watching movies all the time. I can't stop watching movies. Maybe she just and she hates that about herself. Maybe that's like an insecurity of her. She's like, man, I'm addicted to movies. Like I'm just addicted to like just watching movies every single night. I always have to go to sleep with a movie on. I always binge watch this stuff and then I miss my homework. Like that was always my life, right? But then she realizes like she's really good at marketing. She's good at creating videos on Instagram or whatever platform, right? And she's good at getting in front of a camera and talking too. She's very witty. She's very charismatic. She got a lot of humor tied to her, right? So she gets to that point where she's really in tune with that, right? And she's like, all right, cool. Like, let me just binge watching. Okay, I'm always binge watching. Okay, let me turn into the binge watching content creator because also too maybe she's good at creating the content that people binge watch too. You know, she knows how to create content to where like okay, I can get your consumers to watch your content over and over again. You know, maybe that's what her just watching so much movies that's helped her with that. Jake, the arrogant sales coach, like Jake is very arrogant. He's very, hoorah. He's very, when he walks into a room, overly confident, but maybe that helps him get sales. So that's when okay, he's like, okay, I've been told I'm arrogant my whole life. Who through like, say Jake is like, okay, I've been told I've been arrogant my whole life. So why don't I just embrace it now? I hate the fact that I get called arrogant. Maybe Jake is like, I hate the fact I get called arrogant. So now I'm just gonna embrace it. I'm arrogant. Yeah, I'm arrogant. Yeah, I'm arrogant. I'm arrogant as fuck. I make a lot of fucking money, you know? I make 200K a year being arrogant. Yeah, I'm the arrogant sales coach. So now who's he connecting with? He's connecting with other people that are arrogant. But he's also, I think you should also try to um, improve yourself. It's not like you just have your weakness and then you just like, well, that's who I am, like, oh, that's who I am. Like, I'm gonna change this to my LinkedIn bio. Nah, it's about improving yourself, but it's also embracing it and creating the stories from that. And also being truthful about your journey, like, oh yeah, like that's when Jake would try to take the protocol to just try to improve himself, become more humble. But he's also talking about his stories about, because the road to success is not a straight line. So he's also cultivating, creating stories, talking about how he'll fail sometimes. Like the arrogant side of him will take over sometimes still, or like he'll talk about it on the internet. He'll be open and transparent about it, bro. And that's when it's like people connect. That's when he's a sales coach too. So he's connecting with all these people and these people, these kids, or anybody, like say he's like fucking 40 or something like that, and some guy is 23 doing door-to-door sales, selling solar or something, is just like watching his script. He's like, dude, I'm arrogant too. Like I feel like people call me arrogant too. That's when people pay the money. That's when people really connect. That's when people really get you. That's when people go with you instead of going with somebody else. That's my main point. So yeah, I don't want this podcast to get too long, but yeah, you want to identify your ideal client after that, and you want to define the demographics, the pain points, and online behavior. And AI can, analyze vast data sets to pinpoint your target audience, with a lot of focus. But then there's 12 key questions that you want to ask before using AI to create your customer persona, basically. And if you don't know the answer to these questions, I'm worried for you because you should know if you're starting a business. But here are the 3 out of 12. I got the other 9 inside my newsletter. So yeah, subscribe to that. But yeah, you want to ask, who is your prospective client? What problem are they trying to solve, and why should they care? What level of awareness do they have about the real problem? So what I would do is I'll take the answer to all these questions, not these three questions, but all 12 of the questions. I have the other nine inside my newsletter. And create a customer persona page. Basically, just it could be in a Google Doc or whatever. Just list out the answer to all these questions, right? And then what you want to do is you want to create a deeper like persona by like trying to search for like certain keywords, prominent keywords. Go to SEMrush. I really suggest SEMrush or Uber suggest, right? um, and try to see people asking for your service, right? See what pops up, see what questions pop up. I really recommend Answer the Public too. Shout out to Neil Patel. Hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, you want to conduct a lot of searches across a lot of platforms: Google, blogs, LinkedIn forums, YouTube comments, Amazon reviews, Reddit, Quora, social media networks, and look for your target audience. You want to see what they're talking about your service, or the industry that they're struggling in, what they need help with. You need to really know this and list this out on a piece of paper in sentences like, hey, this person said that they're struggling with this. This person said that their pain point is this. This person said that they desire this. This person said, you need to list this out on a document, right? And then you need to observe the sentiments. You need to identify their satisfactions. You need to see their concerns, and what they're asking for. Pay attention to the vocabulary. Pay attention to their expressions. You know what I'm saying? And you need to talk about what they're talking about with. I mean, if you have other competitors, see what they're saying about them. Like, are they satisfied with, the results? You need to know that. So this should take, at least 3 to 4 hours. Really, some really deep, customer research, right? And then once you get this, put it all in that sheet. Look at the gaps too. Look at the deficiencies inside the current offerings. Look at opportunities for you to address and cater to their needs. And then you want to go into ChatGPT, and then you want to type in a prompt. I'm gonna put the link, what prompt to put, but it'll be in the link inside that bio, basically. It's on my description, basically. But yeah, it's basically, I'm gonna just run through it real quick. I'm in the blank industry. My business does blank for prospective client. Um, the prospective client would be whoever you're trying to target, of course. Here is some feedback I've collected online for my ideal customer persona, voicing their comments, concerns, pain points, desires, fears, biggest dreams, blank. And then you put the feedback, you put the whole sheet, you put the whole sheet of all the customer data that you got. And you put a little arrow towards all that you just said, and then a dash, and then you say you ask ChatGPT, hey, can you create? Actually, I would recommend Gemini for this. Can you create 28 LinkedIn informational value giving posts that can help blank prospective client that touch on the comments, concerns, pain points, desires, fears, biggest dreams of blank prospective client. Put these into a graph with top column titles being pain and fear posts, hopes and dream posts, uncertainties and barriers posts. Please don't include any call to actions. I will add these myself. So yeah, you can add your own twist. You know what I'm saying? Twist. I don't know why I said that. Branding, personal stories inside of these posts for best results. I mean, I really recommend you do, because a lot of these posts are going to be very. This is just an outline. So don't just fully copy and paste. You need to add your value and your expertise. So use whatever comes up as a starting point for your LinkedIn content. Um, and just take one day, take one full day, and just give value on each of these 28 posts. Like, just give little short sprints of value on how to help somebody, and tailor it to that comment or concern or that desire or that fear. You want to create 28 posts. Like, create a content backlog, and then automate these posts for the rest of the month. Add your own twist, of course. But yeah, this is just super important, man. Super important. This is how you really get to the point where you start automating content and you start posting online every single day and building a brand. Um, you also want to document and not create. Along with this, I pair this with this. You want to document and not create. So you want to get to a point where you just use LinkedIn in your day to day. So whenever you're a business owner, you have a bunch of stuff that goes to your day. Of course, if you're dealing with a lot of people, of course, or even if you're dealing with some people, you want to talk about that on the internet, what you're going through. These are the stories that you need to tell. You need to document them. You need to talk about them. So like, let's say you're a graphic designer. Okay, say you go on LinkedIn one day and you're talking with your business partner, and he's talking about, why the 20% is going to bring you to 80% in the long run. So your tweet would be, or your tweet or your LinkedIn post would be, hey, I had a talk with my business partner today, and we were discussing why you should focus on the 20% that is bringing in 80% of the results when it comes to creating a logo for your business. Here's my take. And then you give three takes. Content repurposing. Don't reinvent the wheel. AI can help reformat existing content into different formats, maximizing its reach and engagement. If you want to take a step further, take your high performing posts and create articles out of them, then reshare with your LinkedIn audience or direct message the article to anybody that interacted with the post. Why is content so important? Everything required to process, as I mentioned above, with my target comparison. There's a six step buyer stage process that you have to always consider when making money for a business. The six steps you required: awareness, consideration, interest, I think it's prefers, and purposes. That's five steps. I don't even know why I put six steps. That was a typo. But yeah, five steps. But yeah, the customer has to know awareness. The customer has to know you exist before you buy, before they buy from you. So, I mean, would you purchase Jordans if you didn't know who Michael Jordan was? No. Would you buy a Tesla if you didn't know who Elon Musk was? No. Consideration. The customer has to have a reason to consider you and what you're offering. So, it's your job to figure this out and keep delivering, basically. Interest. You want to build interest and get them to invest in like what you're considering. Prefer. Become an authority in their eyes over the competitors. And then purchase. Give them an opportunity to purchase from you. So I hope that wasn't a lot. Go ahead, jot that down. But yeah, that's important. So the next one, the power of engagement. Building relationships is key to success on LinkedIn, for real, like on any platform. And this is where AI will shine. Social listening tools. So you need to use AI to track industry conversations, identify potential clients with specific needs, and engage them in meaningful discussions. You can use AI for personalized outreach. AI can personalize connection requests and initial messages at scale, saving you time while nurturing leads. I highly recommend Phantom Buster for this. Phantom Buster is a good platform for this. Automated responses. Set up automated replies to comments and messages, ensuring prompt responses and fostering a sense of approachability. And then also LinkedIn Contributions Program. It's a new program I got invited to. You basically can opt in to participate in collaborative articles. You can add your expertise or insights and really gain some eyeballs that way. If it is invite only, I'm pretty sure it's not that hard to get in. Honestly, I think if you just post on LinkedIn consistently, you might get invited. Honestly, so yeah. You got to also remember AI is not a tool. I mean, it's a tool. It's just not a replacement, basically. So I mean, you need to get that out your head. It's not a replacement. But AI can help streamline the process, but human connection is always going to win. So, um, but yeah, you need to, that. I mean, you use AI to free up your time for other things, right? You use AI to free up your time so you can actually build general relationships. You can engage with comments, participate in relevant discussions. You use AI so you can free up and have time for strategic networking. Use AI and so you can free up time for you to start converting leads, nurture relationships, showcase your expertise. But yeah, I mean, by combining LinkedIn presence with AI powered content creation and authentic engagement, you can transform your profile into a client acquisition machine, literally. Remember, AI is there to empower you, not replace you. Let's leverage, its capabilities to streamline tasks, personalize outreach, and establish yourself as a thought leader in your industry. And if you feel like this is too much work, or I talk too much today on this podcast, why don't you just work with us? Simple as that. But yeah, I'm gonna be signing out. It's pretty late right now where I'm at. Austin, Texas. But yeah, thank you for listening today. Tune in next week for the next episode. We are dropping every single week. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Whoever's listening, let's get it.